First of all, guys, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas and Happy Holidays, guys. I hope you're enjoying yourself sitting down with family. If you're not, I hope you're out there being okay and safe. And I just want to thank you all for sticking through me with this Christmas, well, through the entire year. Those of you who had stuck with this channel, likes and subscribes, the comments, it's been amazing. So I just want to say thank you. Especially from me, guys. And yeah, stick around for this new series. What if Naruto had a powerful familiar? Part 1, guys. If you enjoyed seeing what's in part 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button. Become a part of the Anime King family, and thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way over Anime King and Anime King 3. Yes, I did have 3 channels. Anime King 2, Anime King 3. Which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, click that red subscribe button, become a part of the Anime King family, and thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. Links will be down in the description for you guys to check them out and enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new series? Let's get right into it, guys. Two shadows ran through the village of the Hidden Leaf, stopping only long enough to go through the trash to find what they were looking for. Maybe some scrolls or some food. One was about a foot tall, with the vague shape of a baby fox, with amber slitted eyes. The other was about 12, with dark, spiky hair and blue ocean eyes. As he stuck from the shadows, in fact the both of them looked like shadows. Well, it was a jutsu that was made by the boy himself. The little fox was making growling noises to the boy, but he understood what she was saying. We must hurry. It is almost dawn and the villagers wouldn't want to see you this early, master. They could speak to one another using the canine language the Inuzakas knew very well, so they had no problem in communicating. And also because of that, they were able to talk to the other dogs in the streets, and not to mention the Inuzaka dogs as well. He got along well with the Inuzaka dogs, despite his scent of a fox. Once, he heard them call him something like Alpha, but he didn't understand. He also made a growling sound, as it came out like war to the small fox. Do not worry, Akio, the villagers are quite lazy on Mondays, so we don't have to worry about them for at least a few more minutes, perhaps another half an hour. But maybe we should return for a short nap. The little fox Akio yipped at his master. It was also tired from running all night, as they ran towards their apartment, moving out of the way anytime they saw a villager. Once they were in the apartment, they let the shadow jutsu drop, showing Naruto Uzumaki, the loud, obnoxious knucklehead of Konoha. All the scrolls that he found that night, he placed them away in a large storage scroll. You know, Naruto-sama, I sometimes wonder why you choose to be a loud, ridiculous fool around the villagers, Akio said. I understand they would be against you if you were to show your true strength, but why not be something a bit more normal? As Naruto smiles, he looked towards the small fox. Well, Akio, if you think about it, if I ever show what my true strength was, they would be after me with pitchforks and torches. I am not sure why they hate me, but there are those that do care about me. That is why I would just become more stronger and stronger. It's better to stay hidden until I graduate this year. Once I become a shinobi, the villagers can no longer treat me as they wish. If they would try to harm me, they will be violating a fellow shinobi of the leaf, making their attacks a bit difficult to get away from. Not only that, the more stupid I act, they ignore me more, said Naruto. Akio gave a small yip. They say that it understood. Naruto-sama was the most kindest person the fox ever knew, and if it wasn't for him, the fox would probably be a part of some daimyo's wife coat, because of the rare black fur that the fox possessed. Although she was not an ordinary fox, she can still die if done right. All they had to do was to pierce the heart and the fox would die. But if they hit any other part, well, the fox would be fine, because the rest of his body was almost like shadows. It could blend with the shadows and extend its body, shape and size. All it had to do was collect the shadows around it, and it could turn into anything. It would heal quickly, but it was a bit painful if it was stabbed anywhere else. But it wouldn't die. The only way to kill it was hit it right in the heart. Well, I'm off to bed now, Akio, said Naruto, as he picked up the small fox, holding it like a small baby. Akio yawned, showing its small, sharp teeth, as they both fell asleep, right to sleep before going to the academy. Time skip. In the morning, the alarm went off as Naruto flipped over. Akio was still in his arms as he locked the alarm off. The fox woke up as well, as its left leg came up and started to scratch his ear, as it then started to yip at Naruto. Naruto smiled at his little companion as he started to pat it on the head, as Akio then jumped off and made his way to the shadows to see if anyone would dare try to enter its master apartment, as Naruto got one of his treats and tossed it, as the treats vanished in the shadow, as Naruto got dressed. Get ready, world, here I come, said Naruto out loud. Man, I can soon stop acting like an idiot, he said inside. With that, Naruto made his way towards the academy, as he started to get a head start on things. He couldn't make a regular clone, he just had too much chakra, but if he made more than one, perhaps it would not dead because he would push more chakra into each of them. As Naruto arrived at the class, there was a frown in his face until he wiped his face down as a big goofy smile came on his face as he entered the class. As he turned towards Sakura. Hey Sakura-chan, he said. You want to go on a date with me after school? She did what he expected her to do as she turned towards him. Leave me alone, you idiot, Naruto, she said. I'm trying to go on a date with Sasuke-kun. See if I give a crap, he wanted to scream, but he held himself in check. Pretty please, Sakura-chan? Come on, you keep on wasting your time with him, and he keep on ignoring you. It's better to be with me, right? That only got him a hit over the head, as he pretended that the hit had knocked him down. He counted to 100 in his mind before he got back up. Although, it didn't even hurt. He had been hit, attacked, and tortured a lot more, so her hit did not affect him one bit. He then glanced as he noticed the shy look of Hinata Hyuga. Despite being the heir of the Hyuga clan, a clan that is known to be rather stuck up in their ways, she was different, she was shy. Not to mention she always followed him around. It was kind of stalkish, but she made it look cute. Next to her was none other than Kiba Inazaka, the big shot, as he claimed to be. Inside his coat was Akamaru. Kiba was still trying to get a date with Hinata, but she refused as politely as possible, not wanting to hurt his feelings. As Aruka and Mizuki came into class, as everyone was forced to sit down. Alright then, we're going to begin the exams now, Aruka said. I'll call your names by alphabetical order, and you're each going to perform a clone. As Naruto could feel Mizuki looking at him, with hatred in his eyes, as he pretended not to notice. Naruto Uzumaki's name was finally called as he heard people saying that he would not pass. As the clone jutsu, he really sucked at that, making his way towards the top of the class. He performed the jutsu, but something happened at the last moment. When his clones came out, they were sickly and white. What the hell was that? As Naruto's gaze turned towards Mizuki. Was it again jutsu? The man was able to screw with his chakra control at the last moment. Naruto, I'm sorry, Aruka said. But I can't pass you, he said, as he saw everyone looking at him. So he did what was natural, he ran out of the class. While on the outside, as Naruto saw the parents come to pick their kids up, Naruto was sitting down as he waited. He would make Mizuki pay dearly for what he did. He was not going to show him any shred of mercy, as he felt the man chakra signature coming up to him. Naruto paused, surprised that he was coming to him. Perhaps now was the time to strike. No, too much people around, and he must wanted something. Naruto-kun, as Naruto glanced towards the man. Come with me, I have a secret to tell you. As Naruto nodded. What does he want, he thought to himself, as he followed behind the man. You know, Naruto, you shouldn't blame Aruka-san for not passing you. The guy cares a lot about you, so go easy on him, okay? As Naruto nodded. What if I told you there was a different way to become a genin? It's quite simple, really. All you have to do is steal a certain scroll. The stealing part is to test your stealth. That way we will see if you can sneak past enemies on the battlefield. Then you have to learn one of the jutsu that the scroll has, and then you're all set. That's the only way I can think of to help you. It's a secret test. Naruto knew that man was tricking him, but this was a good opportunity. Getting his hand on a rather hefty scroll, he could jot down the ideas in his own scroll and learn them later on. Don't worry, Mizuki-sensei. I will not fail. Where is the scroll located? Said Naruto. Mizuki smiled and gave Naruto the information as they watched him go. Soon, I'll kill the Kyuubi brat, and also be rewarded by Orochimaru-sama. He'll be pleased when he learns the damn demon is dead, and not to mention, with me with the possession of the Scroll of Sealing, he will make me into one of his most powerful subordinates. Mizuki chuckled to himself as he ready to enact his plan. Time skip. Once Naruto was outside of said tower, the scroll was rather easy to steal. As Naruto opened the scroll, he saw hundreds of jutsus. A few that he knew, a few that he did not know. He then read upon one, the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Not like a normal clone that he cannot do because he has too much chakra. This was what he was always looking for. But there was some more information. It turns out, the clone would pop and give the original back the memory that it gathered while it was here. Well, that was definitely useful. And with the amount of chakra that he possessed, he could probably summon a lot of these clones. Akio, you can come out now, said Naruto. As there was a ninjato on Naruto's back, it shifted. As its body take on a black form before, it shifted into Akio as she jumped off his back. This should be fun, Naruto-sama, she said. Meanwhile, Sir Toby frowned on what the boy was doing. He was surprised that Naruto was able to take it without anyone finding out. He surely has gotten skilled. But still, taking a scroll of that magnitude, this was dangerous. Naruto-kun, what in the world are you doing? He said. He decided to alert Iruka first, to see if he can talk to him first. Time skip. A few hours later, Akio had a scroll in front of her, as she had a paintbrush in her mouth, as she was jotting down the ideas, copying said scroll, while Naruto was working on Shadow Clone Jutsu. Akio could write incredibly fast just with her mouth. As Naruto came over to her, how did it go, Naruto-sama? She asked. It went fine. How much did you copy, Naruto asked. About half of it, but there are a few things that don't make sense to me, but I wrote it down just in case. Naruto smiled at small fox. He brought the dog treat. Good job, Akio, he said, as he caught the treat, before it rolled up the scroll. As Akio felt it, so did Naruto. Akio, turn to something no one will notice quick, said Naruto. Her body shifted into pure black before she turned into a belt, with the head being a metal fox as she wrapped around Naruto's waist. Nice, Akio. You look good, he said. Thank you, Naruto-sama, she said. Just then Iruka came in the clearing, as Naruto was smiling. Naruto, what are you doing with the forbidden scroll? Do you know what you have done? Of course I know, said Naruto. I pass. I'm a Genin now, as he pretended to look around confused. But where's Mizuki-sensei? He said if I learn one jutsu from the scroll, I could become a Genin. Did he send you instead? It was the easiest way to warn Iruka by not directly telling him that Mizuki was a traitor. Iruka looked confused until he catch on to what Naruto was saying. Mizuki then dropped in the clearing, as he started to speak, telling Naruto that Iruka was trying to slow down his process. He then said something that enticed Naruto. Don't you want to know why the village hates you so much? As Naruto paused, he glanced towards the man, as he wondered if he really knows. Iruka shouted, No, Mizuki! That's a S-rank secret, he's not supposed to know that. Iruka had to move as Mizuki threw that massive shuriken that embedded in a tree. It's because you're a demon, boy. You are the reincarnate of the Kyuubi, the demon that attacked the village 13 years ago. The fourth Hokage could not kill a demon. Instead, he sealed it in a newborn baby, and that baby was you. Now, let me do this village a service, he said, as poof, the massive Fuma shuriken came in his hand, by killing you as he tossed it towards Naruto. It's been a rather long time since Naruto was caught off guard by simple words, but these caught him completely off guard. As Naruto stood there, his eyes on focus, Iruka pushed him out of the way as the shuriken embedded in his back. Naruto, don't listen to him. You're not a monster, you're a child. Take the scroll. Run! As Naruto picked the scroll up and shoot off in the trees, Mizuki grabbed the first shuriken that he tossed as he rushed after Naruto. Iruka was able to pull the shuriken out of his back as he made his way. Meanwhile, so they think I'm the Kyuubi, said Naruto. That's why they hate me. Akio had transformed back in her fox form. So Naruto-sama is a container of Kyuubi-sama. It explained a lot why he smelled so much like a fox. But I don't understand. Kyuubi-sama was not evil. Yes, she's a strong demon, but she wouldn't attack a village. Something is not right, Akio thought, as Naruto heard battling behind him as Mizuki had stopped when Aruka caught up to him. As Naruto hid behind a tree as he heard them fighting. Why do you protect that demon, filth? Mizuki shouted in anger. He will eventually turn on the village and destroy it all. He's a monster. That is what monsters do. You're right. That is what monsters do. But Naruto is not a monster. He's a boy with dreams that he will grasp. His dream to become Hokage, and I know eventually he will do so. As Mizuki snarled. You're wasting your breath. Your last words should have been joining me and cursing demon brat, but instead, you will die. He pulled his hand back before he cried out in pain. He turned to his left to see Naruto. You. As Naruto was holding an elegant katana in his hand, as a hilt, seemed to be made from shadows, but he grasped it same way. It had a silver wind pattern along the side, as Naruto had driven it right into Mizuki's arm. You bastard! Naruto twisted as black markings started to spread around Mizuki's body. What is this? What are you doing to me? He shouted. I am placing you under one of my favorite jutsu. You won't be able to move for a long while, Mizuki-teen. Shadow style. Black imprisonment. Aruka watched as Mizuki's skin turned pitch black, as his strength seemed to be cut as he just collapsed in a pile on the ground. Is he dead? No, he's paralyzed. He can't move until I release that jutsu, said Naruto. Aruka was shocked, wondering how the hell Naruto did that. But, Naruto, come here. As Naruto walked over, close your eyes for a moment. He did as he was told as Aruka removed the goggles. As Naruto felt something strapped around his head, he looked up to see the shining, reflected metal. Placing on that big goofer grin. Thanks, Aruka-sensei, he said. Aruka smiled as he felt proud. He was about to say something when the sword melted into a baby fox. The fox yipped at Naruto. Oh, this is my partner, Akio. She's been with me for some time now, said Naruto. Aruka gasped at the fox. That fox. How can it be? It was just a... I'll explain to you on the way back to the tower, said Naruto, as Akio jumped on his head as he moved towards the tower. Flashback, as 7-year-old Naruto was running as fast as he could from a pack of drunks. He ran and ran. Bottles, bricks, knife, etc. were thrown at him. He twisted and turned as he leaped. But he was just 7 years old. He could not run for too long, but he could hide. As he ducked into an alleyway, using an opening to go and crawl into the crawl space, as all the drunks ran past. It was then that he heard a yip. As Naruto glanced to the hole to see a small fox, black skin. The fur was jet black with ember eyes. Haven't seen anything like you, a man said. Maybe I can turn you into a nice scarf for a queen or a nice daimyo wife. The little fox backing away glanced towards where Naruto was looking, as it had smelled him. Please, help me. I smell someone the fox sent out there. Please help me, the fox begged. As Naruto could sworn that he heard something but the fox. It was a baby, and this man. Naruto crawled through the hole and punched the man right in his nuts. The man was caught off guard as he did not see Naruto. He scooped the fox up in his arms as he ran, as the man collapsed to the ground, as Naruto brought the fox back to his apartment. He placed her down beside him. Thank you for saving me. I'm eternally in your death. Naruto paused, as he slowly turned towards the fox. I can understand you, he said. He had sworn that he heard something, but he thought that he was going crazy, but he heard the fox. The fox looked at him surprised as well, as it yipped, but it came out, you can? Interesting. I have heard of humans being able to speak to us, but never understand us. I am Akio, a shadow fox demon. What's your name? Naruto Uzumaki, said Naruto, still shocked that the fox could talk. Then again, he has been hearing voice when he was around the dogs as they were saying bacon, meat and all that, but he was just jumbled. He thought that he was going crazy for the longest time now, but he was not. Hey, if you're a demon, said Naruto, why didn't you just kill that man that tried to hurt you? Because like humans, we demons are not just born with powers. We have to train and grow stronger to be able to fight back. Us demons and you humans are not completely different, Naruto-sama, Akio said. We can die as well, but we're harder to kill. But we can stay alive for much longer than you can. Naruto nodded, a bit confused. Hey, why are you calling me Naruto-sama? I'm still just a boy and not the Hokage yet. Hokage? Is that your goal, Naruto-sama? Well, once I become Hokage, people will stop underestimating me, said Naruto, and they will see me for what I truly am. Believe it, he said. Well, I believe you, Naruto-sama, she said. In the flashback, it was time like this that Haruka wished he had helped Naruto more. Now he found out that there was a little demon fox helping Naruto, with his training and sneakiness. Now that would explain why he was able to paint the monument in broad daylight with no one noticing. If he can do that in broad daylight, imagine what he can do in the depths of night. He can be the greatest spy with shadows. As the group was met by the elders and the Hokage, as they did not notice the black belt that he had on his waist. Explain yourself, boy. You just stole the forbidden scroll, Homura shouted. Sir Toby looked towards the man with an ominous look, before he pulled that scroll out of his robes and tossed it to Naruto, as Naruto caught it. Congratulations on completing your first S-rank mission, Naruto-kun. That's the payment that you deserve for completing this mission, and a bit of bonus for catching Mizuki, for the traitor that he was. I have sent envoys to pick up the body of Mizuki. You didn't kill him, did you? He's paralyzed, Chichi. You won't have to worry about a thing. As Harrison nodded, the two elders could only gape. How can he complete the S-rank mission? He's not a ninja. He shouldn't be one. As Harrison gazed, snapped towards Koharu before she could finish that. She shut her mouth instantly. Harrison might be soft. He might be a man of peace, but the look that he was giving her now was one that made her shut her trap instantly. Now, Haruka, I saw that you see it fit to make him a ninja. Yes, Hokage-sama, Naruto has taken a test, far more harder than the ones that the academy students took, and he passed it with flying colors. As Naruto smiled happily, while his side eye looked towards the two elders. Take that, you fleshy old bags, he thought to himself. Time skip, Naruto woke up. As he turned off the alarm, he didn't realize something heavy was on top of his chest. He looked down to see a girl about his age, as she was naked. She had platinum, blonde hair that reached down to her mid-back, as she had two fuzzy fox ears on top of her head. There was also a bump under the covers, where her tail was moving about. She looked rather angelic in his arms. Hey, Akio, wake up, said Naruto. But she just snuggled up closer to him, as she was tightly holding on to him as he shook her a bit harder, until she started to stir. She slowly opened her amber-slitted eyes, as she smiled. Good morning, Naruto-sama, she said. She yawned, showing her pointed teeth, before she started to shrink down back into a baby fox. Sir, Naruto-sama, but I wanted a bit more comfort while sleeping, and I changed into my human form. You're quite warm when sleeping, Naruto-sama. Oh, it's quite alright, Akio, said Naruto. Just next time don't appear naked, said Naruto. I'm still too young for that, he said, scratching his cheek, his face red with embarrassment. She turned back in her human form as she wrapped her arms around him. But I am not, Naruto-sama. You can do anything that you want with your Akio-chan. As Naruto's face turned completely red, as he was stuttering. Just kidding, Naruto-sama, she said as she chuckled. You don't have to if you don't want to, when you're ready. You can do as you please with any woman, including me, she said, giving him a smirk. As Naruto got up, it wasn't the first time she was trying to seduce him like this anyway. He was used to it by now. As Naruto wondered, maybe it was time to show the world what the real Naruto Uzumaki can do. As Naruto threw the jumpsuit aside before he made his way to his closet. Inside there was rows of jumpsuit at the top. But as Naruto pushed them aside, to show a hidden space behind that, where his real clothing was, that he planned to wear. And under that was a chest. As he opened it, as he saw some clothing, some rather elegant clothing that fit better as a ninja. Black pants. As he pulled on a blue shirt, dark blue, almost borderline on black, with a small, brighter blue running down the side. Blue shinobi sandals, then fingerless gloves with a metal plate on the back. Last but not least, he pulled a smaller chest. As he opened it, there was a beautiful katana with a blue sheath. The handle was a foot long, the blade was at least 3 feet. The blade had a kanji for merciless on it. as he strapped it over his shoulder. Not bad, Naruto-sama. It fits you perfectly, though I do not understand why it is called merciless, when you yourself are full of mercy, except for those who anger you. Thanks, Akio. And I don't know why, said Naruto. I found it in the forest of death. I'm not sure where it came from, but the moment I saw it, just caught my eye, said Naruto. And I now can show my real self, said Naruto. While I am sure that the female population of the village would swoon at your looks, since I am holding myself back from doing anything inappropriate. She saw him blush once again as she giggled. She transformed back in her fox form as she hopped on his head, as he locked the door behind him before he moved towards the academy. It was still rather early, so he wasn't surprised when he arrived to see that he was the first one there. As Akio transformed into a belt, as the second one in the class finally arrived, as Naruto saw the arrogant and sad king of emos, Sasuke Uchiha, he began his daily routine. He started brood. As Naruto closed back his eyes, he then heard squeals as the whole chorus of We Love Sasuke fan club entered the room. That include the president and the vice president of the club, Ino Yamanaka and Haruna Sakura. And at the moment, Sasuke chose to take the seat that was next to Naruto. So doing so, the first one that she came to was, Naruto, get out of my seat now, she said. Even though he was here first. As always, her mind was not thinking about anything. She didn't even ask why he was here. After all, only Genins are supposed to be here. And didn't they see him fail yesterday? He was sure that they did not find out about his little run-in with Mizuki. Several girls, though, were confused. Was that really Naruto? Given that the orange jumpsuit that he was wearing always hid most of his figure, now they could see the black shirt. It stuck to his skin, giving off a more muscular form. Was he always that cute? As Ino took a step back as she was confused. What the hell was going on? It was then that Naruto turned towards Sakura, his gaze, looking at her. She was confused by that look. Haruna-san, he said, please, shut up. I can hear you perfectly. Are you trying to make me and your precious Sasuke deaf, said Naruto. The people paused in shock, everyone turning towards the both of them, as they couldn't understand what the hell was happening. Did he really just say that? Even Sakura was smack dab clueless to what was going on. He always followed her around, asking her out on dates, from left to right. As she was expecting him to call her the usual Sakura-chan, not to mention, he called her Haruna-san. Her surprise quickly turned to anger, believing that he was just putting on a show. Naruto, you idiot. This is your last chance before I make a crater on your face. Now get out of my seat, she yelled. You seriously need to shut your mouth, said Naruto. I'm growing tired of your screaming habit. She brought her fist down, but Naruto swatted it away, like he was dealing with a bug. She clenched her other fist and brought it up to give him an uppercut, but Akio lashed out as she transformed and bites Sakura's fist. Sakura screamed as Akio jumped on top of Naruto's head. Get away, bitch, or I'll bite your breast off. Not that you have any, but it was still hurt like hell. Sakura held on to her hand. Where did that fox come from? She didn't even ask why the fox fur was black, or how it was a belt a few seconds ago. That's Akio, my partner. As you can see, if I were you, I'd back off, said Naruto. Perhaps, if you try to hit me again, she will try to kill you, said Naruto. Sakura gulped. It's your partner? Yes, said Naruto as Akio jumped and landed on the decks. Some girl thought that it was cute, and the fact that Naruto thought of it as a she instead of a it, well, that made the girls were a bit surprised by his new change, some of them now seeing him as hot. Since when? They didn't know. Ino was caught off guard the most. As Naruto sighed with all this attention, he poofed away along with Akio. Everyone looked around, as Naruto was now in the ceiling looking down. As he glanced towards Hinata, the Hyuga girl, Akio said, she's better than the rest. I can see why you notice her. True, but given her situation, said Naruto, her clan is always looking down on her, from what I have seemed to notice. Perhaps it's because she's not as same as them. I see, but how can you help her, Naruto-sama? As Naruto scratched his chin. It was then that he saw Kiba enter the room. Hey, Hinata, Kiba said. Oh, hello, Kiba-san. Hey, how about you and I go on a date? I'm sorry, come on, Hinata, just one date. I'm sorry, she said. I believe I'll have to pass. Come on, I noticed that you're always looking at the idiot Naruto, but he will never notice you. But I do, he said. No thanks, Kiba, she said, stuttering a bit. Trying to get him off of her right now. His attention, that is. Can't you see that idiot won't pay attention to you, said Kiba. I mean, as he walked around coming closer to her. I'm a better guy. Overall, stronger, faster. Just 100% better. Hinata backed up in the wall as she didn't want to hurt his feelings. She was just that nice. It was then that Akamaru started to whimper. But Kiba did not focus on that. As Kiba moved forward, trying to give her a kiss until he felt something cold. His lips met something cold. Was her lips that cold? As he opened his eyes to see that it was a katana, Hinata looked up. As she squeaked a bit, seeing that Naruto was standing there. As Naruto stood in front of Hinata, seeing that he was on the decks, but beside her in a way. His eyes focused on Kiba. Can't you see that she does not wish for your advances? Stop pestering her and find someone that will. Though I doubt anyone would ever, due to your attitude, said Naruto. You idiot! I almost had her give me a kiss. But you ruined it! What the hell are you doing here anyway? You're not a genin, so get lost, dope! As a ruckus caused people to turn towards your direction. You can't say that she was gonna kiss you, said Naruto. You wanted to kiss her, she didn't want to kiss you. One other thing, look at the forehead, dumbass. Kiba climbed up on the decks, not liking Naruto looking down on him. You must know this by now, but I am the alpha around here. Come on, Akamaru, let's... As he couldn't find Akamaru anywhere, he then turned to see Akamaru near the arms, as she was holding on to the tiny pup. Please don't hurt him too much, I beg of you, the puppy whined, as Naruto could hear him quite clearly. Naruto sheathed his blade. Don't worry, Akamaru-san, he said. Your pet will not be hurt too much, just enough for him to understand the consequences if he tries something like this once again. Kiba was caught off guard. Naruto understood what Akamaru said. But why would Akamaru even say that? It doesn't matter, I can still BAM! Naruto slammed his forehead into Kiba's. Kiba's eyes rolled back in the back of his head as he collapsed. Naruto caught him before his head could slam on the pavement. As he placed Kiba down in his seat, as he was out cold. As Naruto then turned his attention back towards Hinata. Sorry about that. You're fine, right, Haim? Naruto-kun, as she was stuttering. Naruto placed a finger on her lip. Shh, he said. It's alright, he said. I can see that you're fine, as he gave her a smile. And if you ever want any help, don't hesitate to come to me for any help that you want, said Naruto. His finger was still on her lip, his eyes staring into hers. Naruto caught her as she fainted, almost falling off the chair. He chuckled a bit as he rested her back. Jeez, Naruto. You always make her faint, so troublesome, said Shikamaru, his head on the table. How did he see them was a miracle. He seemed to know though. Perhaps his lazy senses kicked in. Or perhaps it was Choji that told him what was going on, seeing that he was munching on a bunch of chips and looking at Naruto and Hinata. As Akamaru jumped on the decks, Kiba still has some discipline to go for his behavior. Forgive him. He believed that every day is mating season. Don't worry, Akamaru, said Naruto. Everything is quite alright. Akamaru nodded as he jumped on top of Kiba's head, who was still unconscious, as he crawled into his shirt. Haruka finally came in after the commotion was done, as he started to list out the teams. As Naruto was rather upset being put in a team with Sakura and Sasuke of all people. He sighed, but it didn't matter. They didn't know how strong he was, and besides, it's finally time that he started to play the role that he was given and stop acting like a fool. Time skip as Naruto was under a tree meditating. As they told that he could go to lunch before they come back to meet their Jonin sensei. You know, Naruto, as Naruto did not open his eyes, you don't have to act all cool like this. Even though you look a bit different, you're still no match to Sasuke-kun. Now stop this school nonsense and be yourself, and maybe, just maybe, I'll give you one of those dates you've been asking for, she said to him. As him ignoring her, she realized that she did not like that one bit. I think I'll pass on that date, said Naruto, his eyes still closed. I hate to say it, but you were nothing more than a part of the mask I made to hide my strength. I don't really like you, said Naruto. Besides, there is a lot more nicer girl out there than you that don't punch people when they talk. So you can go ahead and stay with your Sasuke team. Not to mention, there's a lot more beautiful girl out there, said Naruto. As Sakura's mouth was wide open, Naruto didn't like her? She should feel relief. That he was gonna stop asking her on dates, right? He got up and simply walked away, as she watched him leave. Huh? Why wasn't she relieved? She didn't know. Time skip. As Naruto went off the roof, that is what he told them. They didn't understand. As the man finally entered after hours. My first impression of you guys is that you're slow. Seeing that your third teammate is already on the roof. He poofed away to show that he was a clone. And he was gone. As Sakura and Sasuke now realized what Naruto was talking about. So, on the roof, Sasuke is an arrogant prick. And the Haruna girl is just here for Sasuke. I get it. Seeing that the entire clan was rather stuck up, said Naruto. Arrogant at most. Yes, I believe you're right on that, said Kakashi. But, they just have to be taught differently. After all, I knew two that didn't act this way. One being my old teammate Obito. Another one being Itachi. Itachi, huh? He was one of the Weasel Masks, correct? As he got a nod. He's a nice guy. It's rather hard to believe that he slaughtered his own clan. The test is limit, said Naruto. I mean, that doesn't really make sense, no does it? He's a nice guy, said Naruto. Well, he was, from what I could see. Yeah, you're right about that. He was a nice guy. Yeah, he was. He protected me a lot of time from the mobs. And you too, said Naruto. Sorry that I retire. Maybe, if I was around some more, you would get less hurt, said Kakashi. Don't worry, said Naruto. You protect me a lot in the past. And besides, I'm alive right now and I have you as a sensei, said Naruto. I hate to say this. With Sasuke being the last member of his clan here, the council has ordered me to focus mostly on him. To make sure that he go down the right path. Kakashi expect Naruto to yell at him. It's okay, said Naruto, surprising him. I know more than I let on, said Naruto. I can perhaps help Sakura as well. But if that fangirl attitude get in my way, I won't, said Naruto. Thanks, I owe you, he said. The both of them knew each other from Kakashi Onwu days. Kakashi knew that Naruto was a lot smarter than he let on. But it seems like his intellect has just grown over the past couple of years. Considering that he could sense chakra signatures at a young age, Kakashi was not too surprised. After all, Naruto knew that he was Inu. So with that, the rest of them finally made their way up there. As Kakashi told him to go ahead and introduce himself, Sakura told him to go first. Kakashi didn't really give anything, just some vague impressions of what he wanted from life. You're next, Pinky, he said. My name is Haruna Sakura. My likes are... She glanced towards Sasuke and blushed. My dislikes are, as she glanced towards Naruto for what he said earlier, as Akio glared at her. Bring it on, bitch, she said. My hobbies are being with... My dream for the future is... As she squealed to herself rather loudly. As Naruto and Kakashi sighed. It seems that Naruto's right about the fangirl part. A lot, more than he expected. Alright Naruto, you're next. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. My likes are ramen, Akio. As Akio yip, and those who are precious to me. My dislikes are people who can't tell the difference between a sword and its sheath. Traitors. To their villages and pricks. My hobbies are trying out new principles in the village, and also training as well. My dream is to become Hokage, to make people see me for who I really am. At least that sounds normal enough. You're next, Emo. Sasuke glared at Kakashi for the nickname, before he closed his eyes. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I don't like anything in particular. I dislike a lot of things. I don't have any hobby. My ambition is to kill a certain man and restore my clan to his former glory. It seems that Kakashi was right about his mental state, said Naruto, as he glanced towards Sasuke. Alright then, meet me at Training Ground 7 tomorrow for your real test. I see, said Naruto. The first test was to see who has a potential to become a genin, and this one to see if you deserve that title, said Naruto. As Kakashi nodded, and I smiled. Good guess, Naruto, he said. I guess you were really holding back all along. As the both of his teammates looked towards him, a bit surprised by that. One more thing. I wouldn't suggest you eat breakfast or you might throw up. With that, he was gone. Time skip. Naruto had found Shino and spoken to him. Shino assured him that he would not allow Kiba to do any mental or physical harm to Hinata. As Naruto thanked him for that, he didn't know why he wanted to protect Hinata. Maybe it was just an instinct. Perhaps he felt pity for her because it was the same for him. He had to hide his true self, and not to mention she had to reserve herself because of her clan. as Naruto and Akio were now training the force of death. It was rather early in the morning. They had time though because Kakashi, well, he would be late as usual. And once they train out here, well, no one would think that it was them. It could be some other Genins, Chunins to be exact, because Genins weren't allowed in here. But Naruto was a special case entirely. She was in her human form, but this time she was wearing clothing. Okay, I was looking around the library back at my home world, she said. And I got this as she gave my book. As Naruto opened it, it was rather large. That's an old fighting style called the Black Fist. I think it will suit you better than the other one, she said. As Naruto looked it over, well, get started, Naruto-sama. As he started to study the book, Aki on the other hand started to study and practice what her mother taught her. As she was reading, they increased her yokai. The thing was, she could only become an object for at least half an hour, at most. After so long, 50 years, she had gained her first heal, and that increased her supply. But the thing was, if she was hit, when she was an object like at the belt buckle, something that represented her mental state, her physical form, she would die. But once she was able to get up to 4 heals of power, she would be basically immortal. She can get hurt or weakened, but if she was hit in a vital spot, she would not die, because she would have too much yokai to kill. And the more time that she stays solid as an object, most of her yokai, her power would deplete, until she had to return back to normal. As Naruto was working, time skip, Sakura and Sasuke arrived at 6. As Sakura just arrived at the same time that he did. Perhaps she was stalking him. Well, she kind of was. As they arrived and waited, finally, 10 o'clock. The two Genins were hungry as they saw Naruto arriving. As they were there, their stomachs rumbling. "Good morning," said Naruto, before he walked past him as he went over towards a tree, a hole in a scroll in his hand that he was reading over. While he was reading, Sasuke came over and stood in front of him, as Naruto pretended to ignore him. "Fight me," Sasuke said. As Naruto glanced up, "No." "What, are you scared?" "No," said Naruto. "Then fight me." "No." "You're nothing but a coward, dope," Sasuke said. "Yes, so leave me alone," said Naruto. As at this point Sasuke was just annoying him. It's best if he just ignore him. Kakashi finally arrived. "You're late," Sakura shouted. As Kakashi picked at his ear. "Good morning, Sensei," said Naruto. As Akio yipped at him. "Alright then, now that I'm here, why don't we begin the test?" "The test is quite simple," as he pulled out 2 bells. "Just take these bells and you pass." "There's only 2 bells." "Yes," said Kakashi. "That means only 2 of you will pass, and 1 of you will be sent back to the academy and you have to wait to pass the exam all over again." Sakura and Sasuke were in shock. As Naruto thought this over before, his mind jumped to any other conclusion. Genins were assigned to a team together, but this would make them fight amongst one another to get a bell. Not to mention, he's never heard of a team with only 2 Genins and 1 Jonin. That would just take away the manpower. As Kakashi brought out the clock from coming nowhere, he also brought out 2 box lunches, as Naruto had no idea where the man was getting those from. But he had them. "You have to come at me with the intent to kill, otherwise you will not get a bell. Now, go," he said. As all of them disappeared. "Alright now," said Kakashi as he found Sakura rather easily. He found Sasuke as he was hiding, but he had a good hiding spot. It was then that... Wait. Where the hell was Naruto? He was surprised that he could not find Naruto anywhere. Well, I guess I'll just stay here. He knew if he searched he could find him, but he would just wait. 3 clones flashed around Kakashi as he smirked at that under his mask, surprised and impressed. "Already know the shadow clone, huh? Well, not bad for Sensei's son." "Only 3, said Kakashi. "I feel disrespected though. After all, I am a Jonin," he said, eyes smiling at the clones. The 3 of them launched forward as Kakashi jumped back, as the tree was sliced into deep, but they expect him to jump up, so they did as well. They sliced right through a board that Kakashi substituted with. "Well," said Kakashi, "he's actually trying to kill me." "Well, I did tell him to come at me with the intent to kill," said Kakashi as he reappeared. "My turn," as he flashed behind one of the clones and punched him in the back. It poofed out of existence. The other 2 burst right through the smoke, using it as a cover, as Kakashi ducked. As Naruto was shorter than him, so he had to push his body down for the blade to pass over his face. He then turned his shoulder the moment he let up, flipping through the center of their attack. As he flipped right through the center and landed behind them, Kakashi was surprised. Yes, Naruto had hold back in the academy, but this was a lot more than he expected. After all, those were just clones. But he was honestly proud. He should expect no less from Sensei's son, since he was always a genius. Goodbye. As Kakashi was confused when they said that, and they poofed away. Why did they say? Kakashi looked down and he was shocked. One of the bells were gone. What the hell just happened? It must be when he had jumped right through the center. Those crafty little bastards. As he tried to find Naruto chakra signatures, but he could not. Either he was so good at hiding it or he ran away from the area. Meanwhile, Naruto was under the bushes with a bell in his pocket, as he knew that fighting his teammates was not the real reason of this test. That was just stupid. Besides, if Kakashi wanted to, the man would have fought him for real, and he was a jonin. That is why he had to. He flashed away as Sakura was looking around. As a hand covered her mouth, she screamed, "Calm down, it's me." She slowly realized who the voice was. As she turned, "What the hell are you doing, Naruto, you idiot? You nearly scared me half to death." "Be quiet and let me explain." It seems like she didn't hear anything that he said, because once he was finished, Sasuke-kun is stronger than a jonin. He can do it. As Naruto looked at her, as Akio felt like she wanted to slap Sakura across the face. How stupid was. They were cut off as they heard a battle outside. "Come on, let's go," he said, as she followed him out in the clearing as they found Sasuke's head. Above ground, his body was underneath the ground. Sasuke blinked twice. He looked at them. Sakura screamed before she passed out. As Naruto sighed, "Alright, Sasuke, I know you don't like me that much, but do you want to pass?" "Of course I want to pass." "Well then, let me tell you the real reason behind this test." As Sasuke narrowed his gaze, confused why the dope was helping him. But guys, to be in subscribe right here. If you want to see next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification, stay posted. But I'm off, and now remember to stay tuned for the rest of what's coming your way. I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. But I'm off now, see you guys soon. Peace.